As the sun began to set on a quiet suburban neighborhood, a woman stumbled out of her front door and onto the sidewalk. She looked around, disoriented, and realized that she didn't recognize anything around her. She couldn't remember who she was or how she had gotten there. Panicked, she searched her pockets for any identification, but found nothing. She had no phone, no wallet, no keys. All she had was a feeling of overwhelming dread. As she walked down the unfamiliar street, she noticed that everyone around her seemed to be staring at her. Their eyes were cold and calculating, and she couldn't shake the feeling that they knew something she didn't. Just as she was about to turn a corner, a man in a black suit and sunglasses stepped out from behind a parked car and approached her. "Miss, we've been looking for you," he said in a low, authoritative voice. "You need to come with me." Despite her fear, the woman knew that she had no other choice. She followed the man to a black SUV parked at the end of the block and climbed into the back seat. As they drove away from the neighborhood, the man began to explain to her that she was part of a secret organization that had been tasked with protecting the world from a powerful and dangerous group of individuals known only as the Threat. He told her that her memories had been erased for her own protection, and that she was one of the organization's most skilled operatives. Over the course of the next few weeks, the woman was trained in hand-to-hand combat, weapons handling, and surveillance techniques. She discovered that she had an innate ability to blend in with crowds and go unnoticed, and that her true identity was a closely guarded secret. But as she began to carry out her missions, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was something off about the organization. There were whispers of corruption and betrayal, and she couldn't help but wonder if she was on the wrong side of things. One day, she received a mysterious package containing a set of old photographs and a note that simply read, "Trust no one." As she delved deeper into the organization's secrets, she began to uncover a dark and twisted conspiracy that threatened not only her own safety, but the safety of the entire world. She discovered that the organization was not as righteous as she had believed, and that they were using their power and resources for their own gain, rather than protecting the world from the threat. With the help of a small group of rogue operatives, she set out to bring down the organization from within. They planned their every move carefully, knowing that one wrong step could mean the end of everything they had worked for. In a heart-pounding finale, the woman and her team managed to infiltrate the organization's headquarters and confront their leader. After a brutal fight, the woman emerged victorious and brought the organization crashing down. But as she stood there, breathing heavily and covered in blood, she realized that her work was not yet done. The threat still loomed over the world, and it was up to her to stop them. With renewed determination, she set out on a new mission, gathering intelligence and resources to take down the threat once and for all. She knew that it wouldn't be easy, but she was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. As she stepped out into the world, she felt a sense of purpose and power that she had never felt before. She was no longer just a pawn in someone else's game, but a force to be reckoned with. And as she looked out at the world, she knew that she was the only one who could protect it from the darkness that threatened to engulf it. She was the last line of defense, and she was ready to do whatever it takes to ensure the safety of everyone she cared about. Over the months and years that followed, the woman worked tirelessly to dismantle the threat, thwarting their plans at every turn and rallying support from people all over the world. Despite the danger and the obstacles she faced, she never gave up. Her determination and bravery inspired others to stand up and fight alongside her, and together they formed a powerful force for good. As the threat weakened and crumbled, the woman realized that she had found her true calling. She had always felt lost and adrift, but now she knew that she was meant to be a hero. She continued to protect the world from those who would do it harm, and her name became a legend. People told stories of her bravery and skill, and she was revered as a symbol of hope and courage. And even though she knew that there would always be new threats and challenges to face, she never wavered in her resolve. For she knew that as long as she stood strong, the world would always have a protector.